That is really, really cool. No, I did not say okay, good. And my phone is not connected. Because... yeah, it went from 47% to 0. Just what I wanted to take a photograph. Like, come on, modern technology. That's not okay. You can't just do that. So now I've had to put it on charge instead of my GoPro batteries. But yeah, my GoPro battery should be okay. I have still got a fully charged set. What is annoying is I no longer have navigation, but then the first time I did this trip I didn't have navigation either because my phone did this same thing. And that's, it's so infuriating. Like, don't be like, oh yeah, 47%, and then the next minute be like 0 and turn off. Like, what? What? You know? I've had that phone for 3 years. Just about. In fact, when did I buy that? I bought it at the end of February in 2019. Just before I went on tour. So it's not even 3 years and it's already doing this shit. So it's another thing that I'm going to have to pay for to replace. And unfortunately, like that's kind of a higher priority than getting a 360. But yeah, like, what the hell? I feel like that is... I feel like that is not a normal thing that just normally happens. No, you can't tell me that, oh yeah, it's a bit cold, so, you know, it's gonna be kinda a bit odd. And then a bit odd is like, yeah, it just goes from 47 to 0, like, click your fingers. I mean, from 12 or 13 to 0 I can buy, but seriously, like, losing half of the battery's charge, that's a pretty big miscalculation right there. Not a dead animal. It's like a carpet or something. Oh dear. Someone has lost the load off of the vehicle. The vehicle. Now, I vaguely know the route that I'm taking. It is a little on the left side for taking the route that I'm going to take, but we're going to give it a go. That probably means I'm going to lose the light and not be able to record all of it, because it is already 3:15. And by the time I get to Knighton, it will be getting quite dark. But, you know, that's what happens when you faff around. I think I spent longer at that stop than I intended to. last time I did this, I had a longer cable with me. And what I did is I put the cable in here and stretched all the way back to my pocket, where my phone was. I've actually not done my pocket up. That's kind of dumb. Just do my pocket up. Yeah. And my phone was turned off because it just, like, it was so dead it wouldn't even turn on. And I rode along. Oh my god, that's not going to do up. I rode along with. This is my turn. With it charging, just in my pocket, turned off. I did the best navigation that I could, and I nailed it, actually, as it happens. It did fail a little bit after this point, but I nailed it anyway, and I think that is the ride where I had the most range anxiety, because there are no chargers out this way. Like, there's nothing. Done about 20 miles and I've used, or done 25 miles and I've used about 20% battery, which is honestly pretty good. But then, you know, I've not been going very fast, so it's to be expected. But it was like the second run that I took this bike out on, and was it the second one? No, it was actually the first run that I took this bike out on, come to think of it. And I wasn't really sure of it yet. I didn't know what I was going to get out of my battery, but I'm much more sure of it now, and I know that it can do it. But yeah, it was really annoying because, of course, I had to plug my phone in. So my phone is charging off the bike, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get all the way to my destination or not. I was like, ugh. But actually I got there with a bunch to spare. So it was fine. And part of the reason for which being I got stuck behind someone doing 40. Which will probably happen this time too. But even if it doesn't happen, I reckon I will be pretty okay on getting there with a decent amount of charge, so that's fine. I think I've got penciled in somewhere like a whole video to do on range anxiety, partially from the perspective of the person with the vehicle and partially from the perspective of like the people who are planning trips that you are going on, who are like, oh my god, are you going to make like this? I don't know, because it's new and stuff. And yeah, you know, you do get a little bit of it, but I did a lot of research before I bought this bike, and I kind of had a strong idea of what I was getting into. The performance is not as expected, which, you know, that's a thing, but it's not so far off what I was expecting that it annoys me that much. And it is bloody cold. Like, I don't think it's been over 10 degrees a single time I've taken this bike out, which is, I don't know, I've ranted about this before, and I just want some warm weather to enjoy my motorcycle with. But I am interested to see how much better its range performs like in warm weather as opposed to cold weather. Because as I told basically everyone who's asked, it gets about 100 miles of range. Yeah, I kind of expected something closer to 120, but when it's warmer I reckon I'll get like maybe 110 110, 115, something like that, and that'll be fine. On the flip side, because it's cold, the charging is quite nippy. So that's nice. The charging is definitely faster than expected. Which, like, that really takes the edge off the range, to be honest. I've said this before, like, a short range isn't such a big deal if you can easily charge it up, and if there are easily accessible chargers to charge it up at. And incidentally, for all the people who are like, oh, I need to have gears, wah. All through that bend, I was in the right gear. I felt like I was going a bit slow at one point. I was like, but then no, like, if you just ask for a little bit of power, you are in the right gear. There's no wrong gear. And that's cool. I mean, that's how it should be. Gears they're an interesting, like, skill, and I guess that's why people get weird about not having them, is like, you are eliminating a little bit of the skill, but like, at the end of the day, like, this is how it should be. I don't have to worry about that. I can just, like, go down the road and pick the speed that I want, and maybe get it wrong, and it's not so big a deal. If I got my speed and gearing wrong in the VFR coming through this corner, it would be a problem. If I got my speed and gearing wrong on, like, an inline 4 coming around one of these corners, oh, that would be a problem. But, like, literally the only thing I have to worry about in this thing is my speed roll. I don't have to worry about my gear. There's not a combo that I have to worry about. It's just one thing. And that makes it, like, really pleasing. I've noticed a couple of traction control lights as I've been coming down here. Just screw it off. Yeah, okay. When I get to Knighton, I'm gonna have to wipe my visor off. Because that's so bad. Probably just... There we go. Oh. Ooh, this is a cool bridge. What? It's a terrible road surface. It's a cool bridge. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Awful. These wing mirrors are very Italian. At least they're not vibrating. That's the other way tonight. Oh, you fucker! This road goes to Hereford. That's not where I want to go. I want to go to Knighton. Oh, let's explore a bit. We're not too far out of whack. Oh, whoops. I fucked around a bit too much with the button. Go. That fucking pothole is gonna bite me in the ass. Oh! Ah, fuck. Yeah, this is the thing, like, you know, I thought my phone was fine, and then it's just like, no, actually I'm not fine, sorry about that, bye, and I kind of rely on my phone to provide my directions. Now I've forgotten what I was talking about. I'm sure it wasn't important. Whoop. Totally out of mind. Yeah, this is definitely where I want to go. Somewhere around here is where my music failed me last time, and that would be where my phone turned off. But, you know, it was... like, it wasn't anything like 47 to 0, which is like, you know, turned off. It was like 20 something, and then it wasn't. Unlike other Brians, this is Brampton Brian. Why do tons do this? Like, why is the speed limit sign way out here? It's just for that one house. I mean, come on. At least they don't have an utterly obnoxious forest. Set to the petrol station at Shrewsbury. I mean, well, you know, not that I have set. Not that I have sat nav to set, to be honest, but kind of need a pee. Quite a ways to go. And I'm not going to be able to do it in Knighton. But what's really annoying is the services where I will stop for said P is like it's got a charger on it, but it's a single ecotricity unit, and ecotricity units are horrendously unreliable. Plus, this particular one requires an app. You can't use contactless. And that means that there is no point in me stopping there. That's why generally I go up the road to like the Bannatyne Health Club, and around the back of the health club there's an Instavolt installation which has 2 units which do accept contactless, and they have a really, really, really high chance of being working. And that's, I mean, it's pretty irritating because like it's in the back of the health club, which means there's nothing there. Like, I can't go to the health club, I'm not a member. And there's nothing else kind of within a short walk. Whereas the other one, the ecotricity one, like it's got a Starbucks, Greg's, Subway, a little shop, and a loo. And I'm sure there's a loo in the Starbucks as well. And there's a cafe in Dobby's Garden Centre, which is at that thing, like it's at that services. Although, I mean, that cafe is going to be closed by the time I get there, but still, I mean, you know, that's a really good place to put a charger. It's not a place I would go anyway, you know? It's not a place I would be like, oh, I'm going to go there. But it is a place that I would stop on a long trip. Except, you know, there's no point. Because that charger is just not going to be able to get a charge out of it. Capturing, but I do not. Yay, it's Knighton. That's not too bad. It's only 3:30. Still got maybe an hour of light. What we're going to do is we're going to stop. The Space Guard Centre. Ooh. You have to look that up later. Find out what it is. It's probably something really boring. It's probably something really boring. That or it's like some kind of weird RAF thing. Stop just here. These guys do not look like they have a loo. I'm gonna do a quick stop just here. I'm gonna inspect state of charge of our batteries, and we're going to say that's a bit low. We're going to turn them off. Still rolling. Oh my god, that's filthy. Yeah.